Welcome back to the Tool Crib. Today we're going to be talking scale tools. Now on the table I have a couple of special edition Charge Pluses from Leatherman, as well as the Victorinox Swiss Champ. Now scale tools are not a new thing. Victorinox had scale tools in their knives for a very long time, and especially if you get them into the plus scales, which include a couple of other extra tools. So with this particular knife from Victorinox, this is a plus scale model, obviously, and so what you get is a ballpoint pen that houses within the scale. Let me slip that around. You see that they actually contour that very nicely into the knife itself. Then you have a toothpick, which I find very convenient in Victorinox knives, and especially with these because of the way that they're housed. They're fully enclosed, so no dirt grime gets to them. They're plastic, so they're easy to sanitize as well, and easy to switch out whenever you need to. And then they have a pair of tweezers. And then on the plus scale models, they also have a slot for a straight pen. Now, I can't tell you the number of times that I have needed a straight pen and not had one. So that's something that I really like that they did with this. Also, with these plus scales, when they include the corkscrew, they usually give you the little micro driver that houses within the corkscrew as well. So scale tools are not new. They've been around for a long time. Victorinox has done them very well. Now, the first tool that we saw from Leatherman that included scale tools was the Tom Sachs SP, or the Tom Sachs Space Program Leatherman Charge Plus. And what they have done, and it houses a little bit differently, where all the tools within the scale tools of a Victorinox knife are friction fit. These, only a couple of them are friction fit, and the others actually lock in with the tool release locks for the interior tools. So what we have here is a ballpoint pen, and it's basically just the pin insert with the sleeve that it just presses on there. And I've taken this one on and off a couple of times, so it's a little bit loose, but they're very easy to switch out, and you can do these in the aftermarket. Wherein the Victorinox, because of the way that they are molded in there, you really have to just get a replacement from Victorinox. But these you can get in the aftermarket. Now, with this one, they also included a place for a straight pen in this edition of the Charge, which I really, really like, as well as tweezers, which are always handy. But the one tool that they included with this is different from what you find in Victorinox, is they included a carbide scribe. Now, the carbide scribe for my line of work is just ideal. I love that, and I hope that at some point they make an edition of this for the Surge that actually includes these types of scale tools as well. Now, on the right here is the latest addition to my collection. This is the Leatherman Dark Side. This came out of the Leatherman Garage. It's the second edition now, the Leatherman Garage, and it also includes some of those same scale tools. While you don't get the lanyard that comes with it, you also get the carbide scribe, which again I love very much, the tweezers, which are always handy, and the ballpoint pen. However, this one did not come with the straight pen, and that is, I don't understand why they didn't add that in there, because the way the straight pen is housed, it's just a, let me see where it is. Here it is. On this side of the tool. Well, I tell you, they had to make this a little bit differently, because this one does not come with a clip, and this one does come with a clip. This housing is completely different than the one you'll find in this tool, and so they just added a little pin slot here so you can slide that in there. And maybe that's the reason why they don't have it in this edition, but I think they could have added it in pretty easily, and I think it's one of the things that they really should have put into this tool. So I've been thinking about different scale tools that would be beneficial to a number of different people, because in my estimation, I know a lot of people are going to like having a secondary or a backup pen writing instrument with them and being able to carry that into your Leatherman. However, from my perspective, it's a little cumbersome to write with, though it does work, and it works fine. I just think that they could do a number of different things in there. I do really like the straight pen, the tweezers, and the carbide scribe, but I've been thinking about a number of other things that they could put in there, and want to see what you guys, I'm sure you guys have all kinds of ideas of what could go in there, but let me tell you what I think. So I've brought a couple of my other Leatherman tools out here to highlight a couple of things that I think they might be able to do different or add into scale tools for these Leatherman charges. The first of which is, let's look at the signal. So two things that are on the signal. First is a fire starter. So they have fire steel on here, and the second is a removable diamond coated file. That is a diamond coated sharpener is what it's intended for. So these are two things that I think could actually work well in here because, like I said before, I'm not the biggest fan of the ballpoint pen, though it could still be kept there for those that need it. That's the beauty of scale tools. You can interchange them how you saw fit. Two things that I do think that they could put in there. I know Victorinox does this, and I don't happen to own one, but they do have, or Victorinox doesn't, but Aftermarket does. I believe it's called the Firefly, where you can pull out one of your scale tools and add in a small fire steel to use as a fire backup. That's great for outdoorsmen who want to have a small redundant fire starter with them. That's something I think they could definitely put on there. Now, with the Wave Charge series, unlike the Surge series, you don't have the removable diamond file. So another thing that I think they could do is they could put in a small diamond, make this a diamond file, and they could add that into it so it would be removable, and then you could sharpen your knife out on the go. I think that would be something that would work really well. And again, that would also bode well, not just for outdoorsmen, but also your everyday carriers as well. Another thing that I like, this is the Leatherman Mutt. Unfortunately, the punch down tool on this tool is not small enough where it will feasibly fit into the slot that they have for those scale tools. A smaller version of this might, and that's something I think that they could include, just a stainless steel regular punch down tool that would also bode well in a lot of different situations. I know a punch down tool is something that I would like to have. In fact, if I was going to trade something out for myself personally, and if they had it available, it would be a smaller punch in lieu of the writing instrument. Now, there's a number of other things that they could do. With the Leatherman Surge, what you get is you get a separate pouch, and let me just pull mine out here real quick. So you get a separate pouch that houses, that you can house your extra bits with it. So I carry, these are usually for your T-shank stuff, but they could include a small pouch like this. And what my thought was that instead of making the tools in this orientation like they do, they could make them so that they fit into your slots of your tool release locks in the opposite direction, so that then you could use whatever tool that they came up with and use the multi-tool as a handle for said tool. I don't know what could work there. One of my thoughts was a small hook like they have on a Victorinox tools. I think that might be something made out of stainless steel where it locks in, where you could actually use it as a little grab hook. That is one thing that might work. Even the punch down tool would work well in that orientation as well. And I'm sure that there are a number of ideas that you guys have where they could put in a really feasible tools into these scale tools. I definitely think that a fire steel and a small diamond file, the diameter of the writing pen, would be almost no-brainers. That would give Wave, well, not Wave, but it would give the Charge enthusiast a way to sharpen their knife on the go, or at least to touch it up on the go in a situation where you need to get a little bit of an edge on your knife. So those are a few of my ideas, and I would really like to hear what you guys have to think. What would be best suited in these scale tools? And that's not to say that they're ever going to do this mainstream. So far, we've only seen this in the NASA Charge, in the Tom Sachs SP, and in the Dark Side, which are not full production models. My hope is that they do include these in production run models eventually, and then give us options. Boy, there's money potential there for them as well, because these are not tools that I would think they would cover on warranty, and they could offer them as additional tools that you could add on to, and they'd be proprietary, obviously, because of the way that they lock into the Leatherman, but it would give enthusiasts a lot more options on what they can and would carry with them. My name is Ben. You've been watching the Texas Tool Crib. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next one.